Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. Now, before we get into this fight, we need to address something really quick. We need to stop this myth that ESPN is constantly trying to push about Teofimo Lopez. He was not and has not ever been undisputed. Not at 135, not in any weight class. He held all but the WBC belt. The only WBC strap he had was the franchise designation that Lomachenko requested to avoid his mandatory fight with Devin Haney so he could fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was a unified champion, not undisputed. They need to stop trying to push this narrative because when you look at who is recognized as undisputed in the four-belt era, his name is not there. Only when ESPN tries to put a list up. Now, back to Lopez versus Martin. Teofimo Lopez was gifted a majority decision over a very game Sandor Martin, with the scorecards being 95-94 in favor of Martin, 96-93, and 97-92, both in favor of Teofimo Lopez. These cards, once again, as many times before, were not it. I actually had Teofimo losing the fight, 95-94. To me, the difference was easily the knockdown. It was a very close fight. A lot of rounds were close, but I gave it to Martin. He landed out. Well, before I continue, it very easily could have been 96-93 in favor of Martin. At best for Teofimo Lopez, it could have been a draw. But yeah, the fight was close. But to me, Sandor Martin was the winner from the fight that I saw. I thought Martin outboxed Lopez and kept Lopez at bay with his check right hook. He dropped him in the second round with it. And then as well, in the seventh round, he should have got credit for a second knockdown. But the ref ruled it not a knockdown. If you go back and watch the replay, it was clearly a knockdown. So Sandor Martin should have got credit for two knockdowns in this fight. The fighters clashed heads in the first round, and Martin took the worst of it, looking like he broke his nose. And very, very good on the corner of Martin because they were able to manage it. And yeah, he was able to finish the fight, and it didn't look like the nose affected Sandor Martin. In the second round, as I mentioned, Martin had a nice check hook on Lopez, and it just grazed his head, but it was enough to knock Teofimo Lopez, who was lunging in. And he did that a lot throughout the fight. He was lunging in. He was impatient. As the fight went on, he got frustrated. I thought Martin boxed beautifully all night. And midway through the fight, like I said, I thought he frustrated Teofimo Lopez because Martin was controlling the pace. And yes, Lopez threw more punches, and he was the one, trying to get in there and land some shots on Martin, but Martin was smart with it. He countered beautifully. He stepped back every time Lopez came in, and he landed that check hook throughout the night. And it didn't look like Lopez was making any type of adjustments. And he, like I said, he got frustrated, I thought. Rounds 5 and 6, Lopez had to work to get in close on Martin, but I thought Martin had continued success with that right hook. And yes, the bigger power was with Lopez, but Martin was, in my opinion, the superior boxer. Martin should have got credit for a second knockdown in round 7 with that same check right hook that he was landing all night. This is the round that I saw Lopez starting to get impatient, and clearly Martin's confidence was continuing to build. Martin was moving well, keeping Lopez confused in round 8. Excellent counter punching, including a solid right hand with about a minute or so left in the round. He landed a nice double jab as well in that time frame. And Martin was very disciplined, and his shots were more straight and direct, while Lopez kept throwing them looping shots, and Martin was able to block a lot of them, I thought. Martin continued his slick movement in round 9, and he was smart to clinch whenever Teo rushed in. Martin stayed within himself, and he didn't try to do too much. Stuck to his game plan. And in the 10th round, he also landed a nice solid jab that shot Teo's head back. Yeah, I thought Martin stuck to his game plan. I thought clearly he doesn't have the power of Teofimo Lopez with only 13 knockouts in 43 fights now. Um, but he fought his fight. He didn't allow Lopez to, because Lopez is by far the more athletic fighter by far with superior power to Martin. But Sandor Martin was very, very poised throughout the fight. He never got rattled. I think his fight against Mikey Garcia helped him a lot because Mikey Garcia, although I don't think he beat prime Mikey Garcia, but he still has Mikey Garcia on his resume, and I think that victory definitely gave him the confidence to be able to go in here and put the type of performance that he did against Teofimo Lopez. I do think Sandor Martin was robbed. Clearly after the fight, Teofimo Lopez was asking if he still had it. I mean, does that sound like somebody who was confident that he won the fight? I don't think so. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see where Teofimo Lopez goes from here, because if he gets into the ring with a Pro Gray or somebody with of that caliber, I think he gets schooled right now because he hasn't looked the same since he fought Lomachenko. That Kambosos fight seems like it took a lot out of him, and I'm not saying Lopez is done because he's to me he's still a top guy, but he needs to do something. He needs to go back to the drawing board and work on something, work on his boxing skills, or bring a new voice into his camp, because something is wrong and it doesn't seem like he's getting better. It looks like he's getting worse, because even in his last fight, although he got a stoppage, I didn't think he looked very good. I didn't think he looked good against Sandor Martin, even though he got the majority decision. Those scorecards were outrageous, if you ask me, because clearly Martin won more than just one round. Yeah, man, like I said, I thought Martin won the fight 95-94, easily 96-93. But they decided to give the decision to Teofimo Lopez. So congratulations to him. It's unfortunate that Martin has to walk away with the L, even though he did enough, in my opinion, to win the fight. So I just wanted to drop my thoughts on this fight real quick and, let you know what I thought. So let me know who you thought won this fight in the comment section. And you think I'm completely wrong, So let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment, hate, debate, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it all. Once again, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes, and we're out.